Hey, I'm Mark Goodman.
And I'm Alan Light.
On today's podcast, in celebration of International Guitar Month, Pete Townsend of The Who will join us.
Pete went deep with us into his relationship with the guitar and with music in general, the new Broadway version of Tommy. He clarified the status and the future of The Who, and much, much more.
Sound Up with Mark Goodman and Alan Light, the only music podcast that matters. Get it on Pandora, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Chris Hahn, the Aggressive Progressive. Check out a new episode of the Aggressive Progressive podcast every Tuesday. You know, the election is heating up just as the year is winding down. Stick with me. I'll tell you the truth as I see it. Download the Aggressive Progressive on Pandora or wherever you get your podcasts.
Prior to the outbreak, and this is Buckshot, ladies and gentlemen, a.k.a. Business Buck. So, being that you guys know, most artists usually get their money from shows and touring and features, right? Those are and endorsements. And those are the three places that artists get their money from. And that's publishing. And that's an unfortunacy because we built the backs of these big corporations by the sweat of our brow, no different than some of the slaves in the Bible, or like as the Bible would say, we built the land by the sweat of our brow. Like there's it's the same analogy when it comes to us building these labels, whether we were R&B, whether we were hip hop, whether we were, and unfortunately, like I've been in the business for 30 years. So unfortunately, I do know that it's not specifically a black thing only. It really ain't just a black thing. I do know a lot of people that aren't black that still get raped and robbed by the music record companies. So I do want to point that out, because a lot of people may think that. But unfortunately, it's a corporation thing. And they've been robbing us from day one, and they're still robbing us right now. And you got guys like Waka Flocka, who's a new artist, who's telling you, look, I got raped. I got robbed and destroyed by the label. They gave me $50,000, and here I am with all this money coming from shows and on tour, and my label, telling me we got 50 bands. This is Waka on live. Michael Jackson was done wrong, right? Prince was done wrong, right? James Brown was done wrong, right? You name them. You just never, T-Pain has been done wrong, right? You name them. There's never ever been a musician that has truly made money from a major record label. It's never been done. It's never been done. It's the reason why I created the independent game. But it's never been done. And because of that, rappers or most musicians only get their bread off of doing shows. Now that's wrong. So that's how most artists get paid. And the fact that, we can't go out anywhere, or most artists, their shows is getting canceled and stuff like that. Yeah, that's going to affect those type of artists. It's going to affect them very, very hard. I don't go out on the road as much as I used to because I'm a business person, but at the same time, I do know that it's going to affect all the artists that's all they have, because the record companies will never pay them for selling a record.
Yeah, what's good, man? What's good? Yo, Tim, what up? Back at the library. Well, not really. Virtual library. Hope all is well with you guys out there. Keeping safe. You know what I mean? Strengthen your immune system. Yeah, man. For me, sitting home in the self-quarantine, it's almost like, how do you say, for me it's prophetic, for lack of a better term. And I only say that because, you know, we've spent so much time running around, especially for a guy like me who's an artist. We spend so much of our days, our hours, our seconds, just running around doing shit. You know what I mean? Going to this party, it's always a birthday party, it's always a celebration, or someone's putting out an album release or something or other. And it just gets to the point where you know, sometimes I feel like I lose myself when my profession got me all over the place, man. It's like my body, mind, and soul is just like discombobulated sometimes. So I actually love those days when I'm able to spend those quiet times. I love my solitary confinement to a positive degree. I love to meditate. I love to read, catch up on those old books that you started reading way back when and never finished, you know, maybe binge watching some flicks. I mean, I keep it real simple and real basic. You know, I like to have my cognac on deck, you know, my little THC on deck or CBD, whatever I feel like at the moment. And I love to eat in. You know what I mean? Like I'm a dude who I prepare my own meals, so I know exactly what's going in and what I'm gonna get out of it. You know, I think these times, man, just call for us to just get into ourselves. You know, just get to know ourselves a little better. And if you happen to have a significant other, family members that's staying with you, you know, extend that to them as well. Get to know them as well. You know, when people talk that they lonely and all that shit, like, now you gotta kind of like take a step back and think about all our brothers and sisters that's incarcerated right now, and who been spending those days and those hours and those milliseconds in cells. You know, a good friend of mine said to me, man, imagine, you know, you used to being around people and then you got to spend 7 days in a row by yourself. He was talking about doing time, you know, and this is nothing like doing time because we still have the access to Netflix and Amazon, and we still got our phones, and we can FaceTime people. But when you're locked down, there's none of that, and you have to get to know yourself better, and you know, your creator, if you even believe in a higher power. But where I'm at right now, man, I'm reading like 3-4 books at a time. My mind it just wanders like that. You know, I'm working on projects. I'm trying to stay creative as much as possible. I've always been somewhat of a recluse, so this is not too crazy for me. I just got to keep all negative energy out of my circle. And that's the job. That's the works. That's the work. So, I don't know, man. Stay chiseled, stay mighty. This is the General Steele reporting from Bucktown, USA, as I look out my window as the wind blows. You know what I mean? Yo, Tim, you already know. Salute, man. Keep up the flavor, man. Keep feeding the people that righteous food. I'm on deck always, always, all days. You already know. Bucktown, USA, for life.
Peace. What's up? It's DJ Evil D. Right now, you know, we all locked down in our houses. You know, what I'm doing here is I'm taking time to be creative. You know what I'm saying? I'm making beats. I'm DJing on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? That's at DJ Evil D on Instagram. And I'm also doing my radio shows that I usually do, the lunchtime mix on Fridays, and church on Saturdays, church is a house music show. Lunchtime mix, I play whatever I feel like playing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just being creative. As of, you know, health-wise, you know, I have asthma, so, you know, I definitely have to be careful. And also, I have type 2 diabetes. So, definitely have to move careful right now because those are two strikes. Like the coronavirus could definitely mess with anybody that has any type of breathing situation. And from what I also heard, it also can mess with somebody that's diabetic. So, I'm moving very careful. I'm not really going outside unless I have to. Like I go outside to do what I got to do and make sure I come back home without no delay. But other than that, yeah, I'm just, I'm still moving almost the way I'm moving, except, now I'm not going outside as much, but, I'm still communicating with people. I'm still online. And, what you got to do, one thing that you always got to be able to do is you got to take anything negative and change it positive. Yeah, okay, we're stuck in a house, but take that time to be creative. Take that time to hang out with your family. Learn, sit down and kick with your family. Me growing up as a kid in the 70s and 80s, one thing we did was we had family time. Now with technology, there is no family time. So that's the one thing that's good about this whole quarantine thing is that we can all sit down as a family and chill. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just chilling. I'm working still, being productive, and I'm doing more cooking. I'm not eating out a lot, so I'm definitely in the house cooking. Yes, I am a chef. Don't tell nobody though. All right, yo, this Evil D signing off. Peace. And everybody stay healthy. Word up.
I'm Chris Hahn, the Aggressive Progressive. Check out a new episode of the Aggressive Progressive podcast every Tuesday. The election is heating up just as the year is winding down. Stick with me. I'll tell you the truth as I see it. Download the Aggressive Progressive on Pandora or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Mark Goodman.
And I'm Alan Light.
On today's podcast, in celebration of International Guitar Month, Pete Townsend of The Who will join us.
Pete went deep with us into his relationship with the guitar and with music in general. The new Broadway version of Tommy. He clarified the status and the future of The Who and much, much more.
Sound Up with Mark Goodman and Alan Light, the only music podcast that matters. Get it on Pandora, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.